Hello guys, how's it going? And a few days ago there was a JMod post on the forum. I don't know, I didn't really want to make a video on it, but I think it's a kind of big update because a lot of you guys care about your Dragon Claws. So there's gonna be some updates that haven't really been talked about or anything that are probably going to happen, most likely. And I'm gonna be showing you guys a little bit about what those updates are and how to get to that post, because it's a JMod post and it's in the unlimited beta form, so you need to have full access. But you guys can basically see the post here on the video if you want, so if you don't want to get there yourself. So basically what you need to do, go to forum, go to search users, and you want to search for modpi, and this will take you to his user account, his posts and threads and stuff. And right here you want to look for this thread called a list of last minute easy fixes, and click on show. It'll show all his posts. So here, these are all his JMod posts right here, you can see them. And right here he's gonna respond to the OP, and by OP I mean the original poster, not overpowered. And he's gonna talk about a lot of changes he's gonna be making. So I'll be going over those, and you guys could talk about whatever you want. So we'll see. So right here, the Surge Sword. Okay, he said, okay, I've looked at this and I've made this a crushing weapon with the same damage and accuracy as God Swords. It doesn't have a passive effect, however. Zami Spear is a stabbing weapon with these stats too, so this will give you access to crush, stab, and slash at that tier. So basically, Ceradomin's Sword will now be the crush weapon for level 75 attack. All the God Swords are slash, and the Zamorakian Spear will be the stab weapon for that weapon tier. So you're not stuck with only slash if you're level 75 attack. You have stab and crush too. So make visible boost scale. The potions do scale the amount. So this is just saying that like he thinks that the OP thinks that potions don't scale, which they don't. So here, so to the next one, number 3, prayer. 3 times as strong and looks at you buff. Oh yeah, I think I can do that. So basically what he's saying right here is that on the release of the Evolution of Combat, before I go into that, a lot of people think that Prayer and Herblore is useless, which it is pretty underpowered right now in the beta. But on the release of the Evolution of Combat, Prayer and Herblore is getting a huge buff. So just a little pro tip right there. You guys can do a little bit of investment if you want, but Prayer and Herblore is getting a huge buff, and it's going to be used a lot more useful than it is right now in the beta. So just letting you guys know. So there's the big one right here, claws. So Dragon Claws should have crit on them. If they do not, then it is a bug, and I will look into it. So what he's saying right here is that claws are just going to be level 60 attack normally. They're also going to have crit to make them the best level 60 attack weapons. So I don't know if you guys know about this, but crit is the replacement for strength bonus in the Evolution of Combat, and crit is very good. So he's gonna put crit onto Dragon Claws, and they're gonna become the best 60 attack weapons. Although they're not gonna be as good as other weapons that are higher levels, this is definitely a huge buff to Dragon Claws. So God of War's armor. So right here they're talking about how God of War's armor is the same stats as Barrow's armor, but he's just saying that even though it is the same stats, Barrow's armor does degrade versus God of War's, which doesn't degrade. So it's a trade-off. You know, if you want the good armor that doesn't degrade, you have to pay more money, but you don't have to repair it. But with Barrow's armor, it's cheaper, but you do have to repair it. So it's a trade-off that you have to decide what to pick. So Barrow's armor and God of War's armor are the same level in the Evolution of Combat. But in my personal opinion, the best armor for melee is the Verax armor, simply because it gives the best prayer bonus, and it has the same stats as Bandos, and it gives a lot more prayer bonus. So Verax is definitely the way to go. Berserker. So Berserker was broken. That's an ability that lets you do 100% more damage, but how it was broken is you take 100% more damage. Is that you didn't take 100% more damage when you did it, which is what it's supposed to do. So now I think it's fixed. But this is an ultimate, so it's not just like you press a button and you automatically have 100% extra damage. And so it's pretty good. Like, it just depends. You need to use it right, because if you don't, then you'll get owned. So poison sucks. Yeah, poison did suck. Poison just recent. So he said he's buffing it by 10 to 15%. It was pretty weak, so now that he's buffing it to make it a little more useful. So how poison works now is you basically drink a flask of anti-poison. Weapons aren't poisoned anymore, and your next attack will poison your opponent, like pretty much 100%. And he'll be poisoned for like a minute or two. So it's not going to be like 10 minutes like in the live game, and it's not going to do as much damage. But you drink a dose of anti-poison and you poison your opponent. Barrels versus God Wars. That's pretty much the same thing again. That's what he's talking about. Dominion gloves. Right here, he's talking about the Dominion gloves, and right now, in the evolution of combat beta, the Dominion gloves and the, like, for example, the Goliath gloves and the Chaotic Maw are exactly the same, but they're actually going to buff the Goliath gloves, and they're going to make them 80 attack, because right now they're 85 attack, and they're also going to add a passive effect similar to the God swords right now. Fix auto attacks. So right now there's like a little bug with magic and like auto casting and casting with abilities, so they're gonna fix that. Fix channels, combo abilities. So right now this is a pretty huge bug in the beta. We came out with the latest update. Hopefully they'll fix this. God amulets. Okay, I didn't see this one. Okay, looking at these, yes, indeed the Fury will stay the same. Will stay the best Braid amulet. We'd like to keep the Arcane Stream at its current tier, as it's as the amount of chaotic tier. Okay, we will lower the ranging amulet to tier 65 and keep the God Wars amulet at level 80. So basically Fury is gonna be better than ranging amulet, but the God Wars amulet are still gonna be the best. Claws. Okay. Oh, right here they're also gonna add crit to even the not just the claws, dragon claws. They're gonna add crit to all the claws. So just here's another little pro tip. Start investing in rune claws, because rune claws are gonna be the best method to train, because they have crit over everything else. So I don't know if they'll have more damage, but crit is definitely very good. It's their replacement for strength bonus. Offhands. We'll look at making you offhand blusterwood sticks anymore. So I don't know what those are, so I can't really comment on those. Maybe it's from a quest. I don't know. Karasis right here. Basically, he's saying that right now Karasi is a level 78 attack weapon, but they're kind of complaining that it kind of makes Vine Whip useless. So he's saying that he's probably going to lower the attack requirement and the stats for it, but he's going to add crit to it, making it more viable for PvP. So it's because Karasi is a PvP weapon, you know. So he's going to make it more viable for PvP by doing that. Change momentum so it stays on. Right here, that people are just saying that it's too much of a hassle to get adrenaline up to toggle it. But he's saying nope, he's not going to change it. Reduce the cooldown and on more magic and ranged picks. So he's going to do that. He's going to lower more cooldowns for basics for ranged and magic. That's pretty cool. So it's going to make using abilities and basics less spammy. So it's pretty cool right there. You'll see. Increase the cooldown on reflect. Yep. So reflect right now is pretty overpowered. It's pretty good. So he's going to increase the cooldown for it. I agree with that. That's a good move. Magic abilities with a staff, dual wielding. We're aware of this, and you'll see dual wielding and 2H abilities for mage in the future. So here, they're gonna add more abilities in the future for magic and dual wielding. So just be prepared for that. It's not just what it is right now. They are gonna be adding more abilities to these new weapon styles. Magic abilities require magic weapons. So right now in the evolution of combat, you could cast magic abilities without any weapon. Without anything equipped, no runes, nothing. So it's kind of a problem for people that are like one iteming or no iteming. They just walk around like casting dragon breath on you and shit, stunning you. It's pretty annoying. But let's see what he says. Currently in the live game, you can cast magic without a weapon equipped. This is why magic can be cast without one. Casting without magic weapon equipped greatly reduces your accuracy. With regard to magic abilities themselves, I shall bring this up with the team. So basically what he's saying is he's just trying to make it a more smooth transition, because that's true. You can cast without a staff or anything equipped. But also what he's saying is true is that the accuracy does go down, and I know this because I play the beta a lot, and you see these kids running around with like Chaotic Maw, and like they use the Dragon Breath on you, and then it pretty much 100%, not 100%, like 80% of the time if it misses on you, and it's pretty shit. So it doesn't really matter. Like you're not if you get KO'd by someone not using a staff and using abilities on you, like just one-hitting me, you kind of deserve to die. So Quake, remove the 90% or more clause. I think this is a useful clause. I don't know what that is, so I can't really comment on that. You guys can look that up. Quake is a PVM ability for training, because it's like a little, it's an AoE attack for 2H melee. I don't use that for PvP because it's really bad, but it's good for training. It's the Dragon 2H special attack pretty much. Pulverize. We have removed hitting a set amount from a lot of abilities, as we and other players felt that it made the system too predictable and removed some of the excitement of getting a big hit. The debuff it applies to your opponent is pretty awesome, so we cannot have it ramble overpowered for damage. We'll look at it at adding more damage, more fixed damage for you. So right now Pulverize is it's kind of like a little bit of a tanky ultimate for 2H. Basically it does a certain amount of damage, but it also reduces the damage your opponent does for 25 seconds, by 25% for 30 seconds. So it's a pretty good ability if you're like tanking or something, because it'll make your opponent hit 25% less for 30 seconds. So it's kind of, no, I think they reduced it in the latest update, so I think it's 20% now, which is still pretty decent because they increased the damage, so they switched it up a little bit. Gear penalties on correct gear. Indeed, this shouldn't be happening. We realize that these numbers and their meanings still need clarification, so we are working on improving this part of the stats interface. Could you provide me with armor involved in the example and investigate what is happening and clarify if it's a bug or just interface being confusing? So right here, if you go see the interface, it's pretty bad. I don't know, I never created what the changes they made to the interface. I like the original interface. So right now how they have the interface to provide defenses for you, they give you little stars for defense. So it's like, yeah, how much magic defense do you have? Oh bro, I have 3 stars of magic defense. It's a horrible system, because you could have 3 stars with Green Dragonhead, 3 stars with Pernix or whatever. Like it's all fucked up. It's a horrible system. I want to see exact numbers of how much it's being reduced and what's going on, because little gold stars are for children. That doesn't mean shit. We don't know what the fuck is going on. Gear penalties on wrong gear. Okay, after investigating this, it appears the armor nerf isn't getting applied correctly in PvP. This is being fixed, and it will be hotfixed at some point in the next week. What does this mean? I don't know exactly what's going on here. It appears the armor nerf isn't getting applied in PvP. Oh, it's because what happens is people are maging in melee gear. I currently do that because it works, but if they nerf it, then I'll stop doing it and I'll switch to mage gear. But we'll see what goes on right here. Obtainment of new armor alchemy. Yes, we have been hearing this a lot. We will do a sweep and balancing things in their tier for you. I'm not sure what that is. Obtainment of new armor alchemy. Okay, bosses. We already have our QA team doing another sweep of bosses and key pieces of content before the release. So right now, some bosses are pretty fucked. Like, they still have the same damage as the live game and the Evolution of Combat beta, so they hit shit. Like, if you go to the Bandos boss right now, you could pretty much kill him with no armor and like just one weapon without any worries, because he hits the same damage as the live game. So yeah, the QA team, I don't know, it's kind of questionable. They're pretty bad. They release some shit, like they just like rush through it. They don't even test it correctly. Like, how the fuck do you miss the Bandos boss being like that? So dungeoneering rewards. Zealot's Prayer now works on your main hand, strength, not levels. So this boost is bigger than you may think. I don't know what those are, so I can't comment on those. Anti-poison totem sounds reasonable. I'll make it classless. So I guess right now anti-poison totem is a certain class, but if it's classless, that means it'll be all class, which any class can use it without any problems, because that makes sense. You don't want to be using that shit only if you're really you want anti-poison totem on everyone. Vigor. The Ring of Vigor will not lower your defense since it is generic item and it evens out your bias on the combat triangle ever so slightly. This means that your defenses are skewed more towards the middle. This happens with all generic items. So I don't know if you guys know what the Ring of Vigor is, but basically it saves spec whenever you spec someone. In the Evolution of Combat, it saves adrenaline whenever you use an ultimate on someone. So it's not bad. But yeah, this is the post. He posted it a few days ago, and he posted it on the same day that they announced. I think it was the same day, but yeah, anyways. So I just wanted to talk about this because these are some future updates that are going to come on the release of the evolution of combat. And also, these aren't going to be the only ones. There's going to be a lot more. So if you guys have more feedback to give, make sure to go to the forums and post some constructive feedback, because if you don't do that, then you're going to miss out on your only chance to ever do that. So if you have feedback that you want to give, go to the forum, give the feedback on what you want changed, and hopefully they'll look at it and consider your changes. And this isn't just like something that he posted. He actually responded to a player. So they do respond to players, so you can see right here. So he responded to this guy right here, Tamond, and so see, this is the list he made, and he actually responded to all this, and he said he was going to change it because this guy asked and he wanted to. So they do listen to you, so make sure to post your constructive feedback, and hopefully it'll change to your liking. But yeah, thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and have a nice day.